My friend told me that exhibit was coming to town. I asked, what kind, like an arts exhibit? Let's do this. Sorry, I just had to steal from Bionic Dance there. Don't sue me. Uh, anyway, rap. Technically, rap is talking to a beat. I've just never liked it. I don't like most of it. I don't like the kind of rap that just sounds like a bunch of bullies trying their best to sound tougher than each other and everyone else. That has no appeal to me. Why would I want to listen to music that reminds me of all the assholes who made my life a living hell at school? They were all white boys and some natives. But it's not just that. That's a big part of it, but part of being disillusioned by something is that you are 10 times as frustrated when you see the majority of other people attracted to it, even though they recognize these people are assholes, but let themselves get suckered in just because it's popular. Now I realize that just because something does not match my brain's uniquely mapped pleasure receptors doesn't mean everyone else has to dislike it too. Other brains are mapped uniquely on top of life experiences that shape our tastes and preferences as we grow, and sometimes people love something just because they associate it with a really good time or a really good person, or not, and not necessarily because it's actually good. Hey, I loved He-Man. We have lots of reasons to love and hate things, and we're allowed to, just as long as we're not forcing someone else to do the same if they don't happen to agree with you. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't try to share our thoughts, to let others know how our individual brains uniquely receive the exact same input, and to hopefully show someone a line of thinking that hadn't before occurred to them. Because learning and understanding the perspectives of others are the keys to being a well-rounded, decent person. It was your choice to watch this video, so keep that in mind. I am not forcing any of this on you, but my words may at times seem forceful, due to passion. Don't take that as me trying to eliminate those who disagree, but to speak stronger to those who do agree, so I don't feel so alone on these topics. That's what I like so much about the internet, finding other brains that actually agree with some of your more unpopular thoughts, or to escape from drowning in a world that you feel will never understand you. So a big question I have is, how did black music go from being known for the most musical, melodic, experimental, and intricate pieces of art the world has ever heard in the form of jazz and blues, to become the most toneless, least memorable, bullying sound the world has ever heard in the form of modern rap? I do not intend for any of this to sound racist, as I highly appreciate old school jazz and blues, as well as understanding that people of all races are capable of making music of all kinds. But in the way I've been shown the world, North American black music is usually associated with jazz, blues, R&B, and rap. It's just an observation, and I understand that not all black people are required to perform nor enjoy anything each individual human involved doesn't choose to. It just happens to be more common on this planet for the association to stick, whatever reason that is. So, what happened? Why does the popular music scene dislike actual music so much? The main reason I don't like rap, other than the terrible sounding bully talk, is because it is seriously lacking in musical satisfaction. And most often you just hear rappers forcing terrible rhymes they have to trip all over, the exact kind that used to get me bad marks in creative writing for being obviously forced and childish sounding. Rap is usually just some guy yelling at you in a tone that says he wants to beat you up, backed up by some lazily looped, barely melodic sample or something stolen from a pop song whose creators actually wrote music. Rappers take these well-known samples to blatantly steal a little of the spotlight of these previously successful musical hits, because they know a guy yelling at a microphone to a lack of music doesn't have enough variety of sound on its own to keep people interested. The stuff that tends to be popular sounds pompous, annoying, with fakely stolen music that only proves these particular rappers have no musical skill, either fakely stolen or just very lazy sounding. What's the appeal in that? I understand the masculine alpha male appeal of trying to be like the tough guy, but who really needs a chest-pounding oaf of any color to be a role model? I also used to categorize all rap music as misogynistic, woman-hating, what with the bitch this, hoe that, plus lines of women bent over jiggling their butts while quite disturbingly in rap videos. And I love big butts, but have you ever noticed the way they shake their ass? It's just disturbing looking. Anyway, until I saw a lyric posted somewhere by Tupac that spoke up for the strength and importance of women. So I know it's not all, I got money so I can trick this hoe into bed. It's just all that popular stuff tends to be the horrible trick this hoe into bed shit. All in all, I have to admit I come to rap ignorant of its origins and its significance, simply because it has never pleased my ears enough to pursue, and in most cases it offends them enough to make me avoid rap at all costs. But I realize there are smart rappers out there, funny rappers, with lyrics that actually mean something more than bling bling ho. I don't have anything against the kinds of rappers who aren't just shouting at a microphone about how amazing they are, other than the fact that their rap will never speak to my music-appreciating brain. I can enjoy comedy rap, but I have to be aware of the lyrics, otherwise it all just sounds as toneless, unmemorable, and bullying as all other rap sounds to my brain. The only time I can appreciate a rapper masturbating about himself on studio time is when they are doing it in a funny, self-deprecating way. Flight of the Conchords, fuck yeah. I realize that some of the artists I listen to can technically be counted as rapping at some points, and usually those are the songs that annoy me the most, like White Zombie's More Human Than Human. It always sounded more rappy to me, too much to enjoy, just the way my brain reacts. But with artists like KMFDM, who often speak their lyrics instead of singing, they don't make it all bully gangsta, and the music they put behind their words is usually deep, intricately composed, and full of enough musical variety to get me feeling good, enough to keep my attention, while also not triggering the annoyance centers in my brain. Like a fiendish tropic virus spitting bile at all you whores, a razor-sharp tongue-in-cheek poking in your open sores, wolf in sheep's clothing, the ultimate disgrace, wrapped up as a gift of God exploding in your face. I love those lyrics. That's KMFDM, Megalomaniac. And they're spoken to a beat. They're not sung. In technical terms, this is the only definition of rap, being spoken to a beat. But it's the bully talk kind of rap that is the reason why I can't listen to Rage Against the Machine or Limp Bizkit or Linkin Park and half the Korn discography. Well, I stopped listening to Korn after Follow the Leader, so I don't really know if they continued doing a lot of the rap. Because as well as incorporating more rap, John Davis just kept getting whinier and whinier. And whiny singing is just as sure as rap is to make me desperately search for the mute button. Like Simple Plan shit. Which is another reason I can't get into Linkin Park, though they don't whine nearly as pathetically. What confuses me is when my friends argue with me about these bands, saying, "That's not rap." But then what is it? Talking like a bully to a beat seems to be what rap is to me. Just because it may not be done by a black person doesn't mean it's not rap. I mean, I don't think that way, but that's the only thing I can think of that my friends are associating with. It's the only difference I can imagine those friends clinging to when they say these bands aren't rapping. What makes Eminem a rapper and not Fred Durst? Besides skill, probably. My friends are just delusional. Korn adopted rap into many of their songs, and covered some too. Wicked, All in the Family, for example. The guy from Rage the Machine, he isn't singing, and he isn't doing a metal scream or a grunge yell. He is rapping, speaking loudly to a beat, which is too bad, because their music is pretty good. Limp Bizkit might as well be considered homie G wannabes with guitars. There's no debate that Fred Durst raps, and sounds stupid doing it. And don't forget that lame-ass rapper guy from Linkin Park. If he didn't make me want to turn... excuse me, if he didn't make me want to turn the radio station, he makes me want to laugh at how silly he sounds, attempting to be all gangsta tough sounding. If these guys aren't rapping, then what are they doing? If my friends fail to recognize this because these bands have actual musical talent and real musicians and music behind this rapping, that still doesn't disqualify the fact that they are rapping. That's the background music. You can rap to any music if you wanted to, which is another reason why rap has so little value to me. Another problem I have with rap is basically just a little personal bitch of my own. I wish it wasn't so trendy. As in, you can't have any popular friends unless you listen to rap. Not that I see getting popular friends as being a positive on its own anymore, but the negative is still reality that the popular kids give themselves permission to bully the unpopular kids over their opinions. The near-mandatory trendiness of it turns too many young men into boxy baseball cap-wearing bully wannabes who promote ignorance of suffering and the objectifying use and abuse of women as positive traits, something to emulate, when we all know it's the exact opposite. Well, I hope we all know. Why do so many people revere pimps these days? The word pimp should have the same appeal to people as the words period blood. Well, except for the period blood fetishists. I ain't itching to get my red wings anytime soon, but who am I to judge those who are? My immature side wants to say, ew, but as long as I recognize that as being immature, I can calm myself and move on and leave those people alone, like a decent human being. You can come back to me and say, well, you listen to heavy metal, which is all just long-haired nerds screaming like demons and monsters, all about Satan and death and destruction and hell and blood and gore and evil, and I don't really listen to that kind of metal. At least I don't look for it. Yes, there are metal bands dedicated to the whole war and death and violence, blood and gore, scary monsters and creepy shit, but it's always for show, like performance art. Like you said, it's all just a bunch of dorks enjoying the natural appreciation we humans tend to have of images of violence and gore and war and evil as an outlet for the violence we wish we could inflict on the bullies who made our lives hell. I understand what it felt like being a dork in school. I drew those violent pictures because I couldn't do it to real people, and it was a way for me to avoid having the urge to, actively violently react to real people. But in most of the bands I listen to, this stuff is talked about to show you that all this war, death, violence in the world is being caused by the real-life scary monsters who usually advertise themselves as the good guys, such as religious groups, and those clean-cut kids in class who turn out to be the worst bullies, or the selfish, unfeeling corporations, and the right-wing political groups that are usually into some really creepy shit. The heavy metal bands I listen to speak against violence, war, and hypocrisy on all fronts. Ever since falling in love with Pantera, I've almost always found the lyrics to heavy metal music to be intelligent, and when the lyrics aren't so intelligent, I don't usually enjoy that song or the band as much. Fear Factory kind of has this problem. I don't really relate to lyrics about being depressed or wanting to kill myself or thinking I'm worthless. But Fear Factory is one of those instances where the music wins me over the lyrics. That's the difference between metal and rap. Metal is not just harsh-sounding vocals against an intentional lack of music. And even if I dislike the harsh vocal style of some metal singers, I can still have the beautifully brutal music to appreciate, to fall back on. These harsh vocals are often backed up by the near-orchestral music full of melody, mood, power, beauty, timing tight as a drum, composed by brilliantly musical minds, all alongside intelligent, inspiring lyrics, such as from Pantera, a closed mind plays the part of prison cells, or a group that caters no one's fees or synthetic deities is where I belong, my stand is the human race without a label or a face. Okay, so the next line in this lyrics isn't exactly elegant, but Pantera fans are waiting for it. Everybody say it with me. My stand is the human race without a label or a face, so they can lick my sack. Or Machine Head's lyrics. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm fighting a cold. So fight as one, without a fucking gun. Words are the bullets in this revolution. Or another of Machine Head's. So how do they sleep while our mothers weep? They're selling our souls and our blood for oil. One more from Machine Head that I just reappreciated while writing the script. And I don't know what to do, because I don't have all the answers. But with every ounce of strength I vow to fight this cancer. Didn't say I want to lead, I just might let you down. Didn't say believe in me, just hold this common ground. And how about these beautiful lyrics from Protest the Hero about a friend dealing with actual cancer? This isn't a eulogy or a requiem, just some words that I sketched down because I haven't said them. This isn't about her father or brother, just a few simple words so she knows that I love her. Tragedy will never disaffect her. I hope she knows how much I respect her. Can I get away with one more from Protest the Hero? No woman is a whore. This is the caliber of lyrics I am used to absorbing when listening to heavy metal music. Real shit to do with real life, not about how many giant gold necklaces I have and how many super ugly as shit teeth cap things I have. Seriously, does anybody other than me think they just make you look like you have a mouthful of rotten teeth? What girl is turned on by that? Well, the gold jewelry-obsessed rich guy take care of me no matter how horrible a person you are kind of girl, unfortunately. Don't be that kind of girl. But back to topic. Yes, I'm mostly ignorant of rap, but most of what I've been exposed to glorifies violence and warfare and greed and treating others like shit. But again, I'm mostly ignorant of what is out there because the sound just does not appeal to me. And I wish I wasn't the only one who felt this way in almost every single social situation, because nothing frustrates me more than trendy things with low substance that everybody automatically loves, even though it's utter crap, just because it's popular. Just like AC/DC. If most people had been introduced to rap or AC/DC outside of an environment where it was socially common, without it already being a forced trend, most listeners would turn it off right away, because those same people that say they love AC/DC will often never listen to any other heavy metal band, if you can call AC/DC heavy at all, and they tend to badmouth other bands with similar vocals and sounds. Or they also make fun of the constant self-masturbation that most popular rap is sloppily glued together with. And yet they still like it, because it's popular. That's the most frustrating part of avoiding the influence of trends. The zombies always outnumber you. If you listen to rap, thanks for making it this far. I tried my best not to be offensive because it is difficult as it was to learn, and I'm still learning. I understand opinion is just opinion, and other people's brains are built uniquely and receive information such as sound, facial recognition, food taste, etc. differently. Their brains interpret the information differently. I love 8-bit Nintendo music, and my girlfriend feels like her brain is being drilled out by it. I'm just here to vent my thoughts in hopes that others with similar thoughts will feel not so alone. That's really the entire point of communication and sharing our opinions, not to convert each other necessarily, but to share, even if it sounds like we're trying to convert each other. At the core, we understand everyone just likes what they like, and often don't have control over it. But rap still sucks. And heavy metal still rocks.